Today in our 2004 Lincoln Towncar, we're going to be taking a look at and also showing you how to install the CURT Custom Fit Class 3 Trailer Hitch Receiver, which offers the 2" by 2" receiver tube opening. Its part number is 13707. Now here's what our hitch is going to look like installed. As you can see, it's going to remain mainly hidden up behind the rear fascia. Here in the middle we've got our receiver tube opening. This is a 2" by 2" receiver tube opening. It's a Class 3 hitch, so it's going to be extremely versatile. Now when it comes time to secure all the items, you'll see our 5/8 diameter pinhole there. There's plenty of room on each side. We've got the rounded steel stock style safety chain connection points here. There's going to be plenty of room there for us to get those chains connected. Now our hitch is going to offer a 400-pound tongue weight rating. That's the maximum downward force that we can put here at the receiver tube opening, and it gives us a 4,000-pound gross trailer weight rating. That would be the total weight of your trailer and anything you were to load up on it. It is rated for use with weight distribution. If you move into a weight distribution setup, the tongue weight's going to go up to 600 pounds. The gross trailer weight rating, it goes up to 6,000 pounds, but you definitely want to check the owner's manual on your Lincoln to see what its tow rating is, and we'll go off of whichever of those numbers are the lowest. Now a few measurements that will be helpful in selecting your ball mount, bike rack, or hitch cargo carrier will be from the ground to the inside top edge of a receiver tube opening. We've got about 11 inches. Then from the center of our hitch pinhole to the outermost edge of our bumper, it's about 6.5. Now we would recommend the use of products with a raised shank just to promote better ground clearance for you at the back of them. Now to begin our installation, we're going to have this appearance panel down here that we're going to be removing. That's going to go back to our customer, so we won't put it back on. On the very back side, we're going to have 2 screws. This will take a 7mm socket. Once we've got those removed, we'll come right up here to the front side. And you'll see here and here, we're going to remove that nut with a 12mm socket. Now we just pull down on it slightly. There are going to be a couple of keepers up here on top, kind of holding it in. Then once we're able to flex down this rear fascia, see another little screw right up here on each side. Now we're going to resecure this panel here with those 2 nuts just to get it back up into position. You'll see here on the passenger side we've got our exhaust hanger here, and it blocks the frame. Now we're going to use some spray lubricant here just to lubricate that hanger and make it easier to slide off. Now we'll use a large screwdriver and start to pry those off there. You can see you're just going to kind of pop it off with a stud that's hanging on. Pull that down. Now we need to get that taken off by removing the bolt right here. Now for this bolt, you're going to need a 10mm to pull that off. Now the bolt will go back to the customer in case he ever takes his hitch off. The hanger we're going to save because that's going to be attached to our hitch. Now with the help of a couple extra sets of hands, we want to get our hitch raised up in position underneath our frame, and then we want to move it back so it's about 1 inch from the end of the frame rail. The end of the frame rail would be right here, and you'll see it's going to be at about the end of that plate where we'll want that hitch. Now we need to center this up. We can use this as a guide. All right, let's try it right there. Now once we have that squared off side to side, we'll mark our locations there. Now as you mark these, be sure your hitch doesn't move around or your holes aren't going to line up. Now where we've marked our holes here, we're going to center punch. That'll give us a guide. We can start drilling out our holes. Now for your rear mounting location here, you will want to go slightly towards the center of the vehicle. So you see, instead of going right in the middle, we'll offset just a little bit. We're going to start off with our smaller bit to create our pilot hole, and then we'll enlarge that up to the 1/2 inch diameter we need. Now we can use our coiled pull wire to get our hardware in place. For our forward hole location closest to the front of the vehicle, place our pull wire in, and we're going to guide it towards the front of the vehicle where we've got this large hole. This is going to provide as our access hole to get our hardware in place. So once that's through, we're going to slide one of our square hole spacer blocks up and on the pull wire. And we can also thread on the carriage bolt. And we'll hang on to the other end of our pull wire and we'll feed our spacer block in and then place in our bolt. Just by pulling it up, should be able to get it to come down in position. And we remove that, move to our rear attachment point. Now this is pretty close to this opening, so you can pull wire if you want. You hold your bolt and block just like that, you can just set it up in there. Just like that. Now just go repeat the same process over on our driver's side. Now as we raise our hitch into position, we have spacer blocks that need to go on the rear bolt and on the forward bolt. On the rear we've got 2, so we're going to place those up on. On the front we've got 1, and then we can have our extra set of hands, our buddy, lift the hitch up without smashing our fingers, just like that. Once that's there, flange nut on each one, hold it in place, and we'll go do the same thing over on our passenger side. Now with all of our hardware in place, we're going to go through and snug it up. Then we'll torque it down to the specifications listed in the instructions. Now for our exhaust hanger, we're going to reverse the position it was in and we're going to place the provided bolt through it. That's going to allow us to bring it through the side plate on our hitch there. And you'll notice there's going to be a small gap here between the hanger and the hitch. What we're going to do is use washers to fill that in so it sits nice and flat, just like that. So like in this application, you see about 3 washers is going to be what we need. It's going to sit nice and flush, and then we've got the provided flange nut going the other side. We'll get that tightened down. Now to secure this, we'll use a 1/2 inch wrench and socket. We'll just put our hanger back in place. Put it on the bottom first, or on the tailpipe first. And we can rotate it up. With our exhaust back in place, that's going to complete our installation of the CURT Custom Fit Class 3 Trailer Hitch Receiver, part number 13707 on our 2004 Lincoln Towncar.
Click the link below to shop, learn more, or visit us at etrailer.com.